Welcome back to the Grand Solar Minimum channel. Today is Tuesday, February 27th, 2018. Doing a live update real fast here, folks. Taking a look at our solar conditions. Looking at solar wind speeds right about 508 kilometers per second with a density of about 7. And yesterday it formed, but today they're officially announcing it. Sunspot number, actually, this is not,
still not updating. I'll have to fix that.
Yeah, the fix? That's all right. We'll go here real quick, folks. Bear with us. And right now we're taking a look at AR 2700, newly formed yesterday. It was Sunspot 11 yesterday. It's grown just a little bit to 16 as well today. But we do have 27 days without sunspots in 2018. This sunspot here just broke a 9-day streak of 0 sunspots. And looking at that aurora, you can see the light minor pink that's showing up within the greens and the whites. Again, the pink represents nitrogen in our atmosphere. Our KP indices today were sitting at a 1, and the max was at a 5, so we were just getting out of that solar wind stream that was predicted for the 26th and the 27th. Obviously, we have quieted back down. We are not in storm levels at this moment. And looking at the sun on the SDO for any kind of coronal hole action, there are several small coronal holes that are Earth-facing. So we will keep our eyes on that to see if there's any kind of uptick in solar wind speed again. So again, right now it doesn't look like anything too major on the horizon. Looking at our TSI as of February 19th, 2018. Our reading is now at 1361.071, so it has fallen a little bit. Last time I reported it, it was around 1361.2. So, again, we're seeing that up and down fluctuation of the TSI just like we have throughout history, except the downward trend is continuing, and right now I don't see a reason why it wouldn't. Let's take a look at watchers. We always like to check them out for headline and articles that we kind of get most of our over the pond news, shall we say. We've covered a couple things on here with the weather that's happening. Actually, let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick. And you can see it's a mess over there like it is over here, or it was anyway. Bitterly cold with severe weather, widespread snow, and freezing rain in the UK. It says here it's looking like being one of the coldest periods we have had in the UK for a number of years, with almost anywhere of a risk of seeing snow over the next few days. According to Met, they've had amber and yellow national severe weather warnings for snow. Snow and wind and snow and ice have been issued for many in the region. And that was just a snapshot of the 27th Tidbits radar, which we will also get into as well. Bitterly easterly winds from the northern Scandinavian and northern Russia are crossing the United Kingdom, bringing cold air and significant wind chill risk throughout the week. They're looking at temperatures down to -8 Celsius. And I think that right there is 17.6 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's pretty cold, especially at this point of year. And Mari, weren't you telling me that this part of the country is it's a little bit more mild right now than 17 degrees at night?
This is the trend. We were talking about this a while ago, how it's sort of like yin and yang. It's on a cycle. You'll have warm periods over on our side, and then over on the pond it gets cold, and then it cycles. So in 2016, I have a picture of some flowers that are budding, and they're coming up through a little bit of snow because the weather was weird. And last winter wasn't like that, but this winter is sort of like one of those. It's just more sporadic and weird, but I have my flowers are budding. My bulb flowers are starting to bud early, and with these weird weather trends, I mean, look at what is ahead for March. And look at what's on the head even just for next week. I'm sure you'll get into that. It's hard to say, where this is going to go. I think all my fruit plants are going to be destroyed come spring. They were already starting to show signs of disease last year because of just how wonky the weather's been.
Well, and this time of year, seeing the temperatures that they're seeing over there in Europe and UK, I did a small video today about the snow in Rome, and the interesting part about that snow was that it was all melted by noon. Their average temps out there is 55 degrees Fahrenheit, and waking up to what they had on Monday was quite the surprise. And I'll tell you what, the best part about that video that I put out today was the spirit and the camaraderie of the people of Rome and all around that where the snow fell. You could tell that it was a pleasant surprise, and nobody was angry that it happened. At one point of the video, it displays a snowball fight that's going on, and if you can listen a little bit, it's bad audio, but somebody or a group of people, they're singing the national anthem, and at the end of the video, at the end of the song, that's when they all collide and start throwing snowballs like they're at war. So I thought that was interesting. It looks like they had a good time yesterday over in Rome. Beautiful pictures. If you haven't seen the video, got some really nice footage, some drone footage that I found, and of course Time Magazine had a really nice feature as well. So check it out if you get a chance to. And while we're on the subject of precipitation, quickly, wanted to show you guys real quick too. This is over at the weekly crop and weather bulletin. And the reason why I'm showing you this is that we are heading into March, and if you look at this map right here, the drought monitor, obviously there's no lack of moisture in the Midwest or anywhere in the east or the Northeast. And a lot of folks, we've seen some pretty decent temperatures, especially up here in the western New York area, Pennsylvania, Ohio. We've had a break from the bad weather that we had all week last week. But looking at the snow depth for February 24th, and winter's not done. We've got a small break over here in the eastern part of the United States, but the north and the plains, they've picked up as far as the slack goes with the snow, because they have definitely gotten their share over the last several weeks. So, and Tropical Tidbits, looking at the GFS models here, is showing a couple chances for snow and rain, but of course we've seen this pattern now for the last 2 weeks, and it does not look like it's changing one bit. Let's see where we got the map at. Okay, everybody can see that. Great. So I'll go ahead and run us through. Taking a look at today, quiet again, but we do have an area of low pressure forming over Texas and Oklahoma, near Arkansas, and it does appear that heavy rain is beginning to fall in that region once again. As I move it through Wednesday, the heavy rain picks up into the Tennessee Valley. The South has been getting it here lately as far as precipitation goes. But then we see by Thursday, March 1st, that low pressure system gets its act together and again moves over the area where we saw all the rain last week for the Ohio River, the Mississippi River. So now the heavier stuff seems to be focusing in the south and the southeast, which all this week they have had round after round. As you see here, we go into Friday. That low pressure system will move up into the northeast. Looks like northeast Ohio gets it first. Most of Ohio will get snow by the 2nd. And looks like through Friday, snow will be tapering out throughout the day. This is a big low pressure system moving off the east coast in the Atlantic. So heads up over there, UK. This is probably heading to you guys. But you see the snow kind of hangs around through Friday and Saturday. It's kind of just lingering. Finally looks like it tapers down by midday Saturday. And once again, that low pressure system just hanging out in the Atlantic. But by the time we get to early week next week, we start to see some more cold air filter back into the United States. More snow in more snow in the northwest and the upper plains as well. And as we move out through early of next week, March 5th, there's another low pressure system. Again, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, you guys are going to get more snowfall and more rainfall to the Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, and southern states as well. And then it gets a little bit dicey here towards the 6th of March. We start to see a cold front move across the United States. It's dipping as low as the northern parts of Alabama and Georgia. And as we move on into March 7th, which is Wednesday, now we start to see a big low pressure system get its act together right above the Great Lakes. Western New York will get some snow. Pennsylvania will get some snow. As we move into furthermore that day, it kind of breaks up throughout the day. So it looks like some off and on snow showers coming to the northeast here in the next several days. So snow chances are there. And what's interesting to watch this GFS model play out here is the dip in cold temperatures as we go throughout March. But then another low pressure system, March 10th. More snow to Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa. Again, the northern plains getting it. And here comes more rain. So it looks like we get a few days without heavy and widespread rain. And then on the 11th, which again, this is way far out, but it's always nice to kind of get a look at what could be coming. The northwest is getting flooded with moisture. And as this low pressure system moves across the Ohio Valley and off to the northeast into the Atlantic, another system is forming right behind it. And by that Tuesday, you'll have another storm system moving in, creating more showers. And then 2 days right after that one moves off the coast, here's another one forming right in the same area, Ohio River, Mississippi Valley, the south. You're going to get drenched again. So right now, I think I would not want to be a weatherman. The pattern is everywhere right now. Mother Earth is fighting very hard for spring to happen right now. And this Arctic cold air is making its fight, but it can't make up its mind on which direction it wants to go in. And as we start here again, today is the 24th. Well, that's actually past us, so let's go a little further here. We'll start here on the correct day, 27th. As you see, we're in the lower 40s today. Tomorrow, we're expecting highs in the 50s in the northeast here, western New York. But as you see, that mild air is trying to make its way in the south and the Gulf. And that cold air is still spilling down from Canada in the northwest. And as we get into March, most of the country in average temperatures, 30s and low 40s. But like I said, that cold air from Canada is going to force its way down into the 2nd and the 3rd and the 4th of March. And it's trying to make a comeback, but I think the springtime warmth is definitely doing its job and trying to make its way into the northern parts of this country, because right now, we're looking at mid-March and we're still looking at average temperatures in the 30s and 40s. So nothing too cold on the horizon. These are low temperatures that I'm showing you. When we get down in the blues at night, those are lows, these are our highs. So right now, the stormy pattern, and with the warmth that we're getting right here, this is the 14th of March, but what's interesting to me about all the warmth that's down here in the south and where this line is, you guys see it where the 64 degree mark is in Indiana. There is a front, and it's like a section of the United States, the exact south and southeast. And this is where these storms are going to be forming day after day, and where they tend to explode somewhere in the Tennessee Valley. That is going to be likely because of all the warmth they have. The moisture and the warmth combined is creating these low pressure systems one after another. So to the north, you've got slightly cooler air, and to the south, you've got, in some spots, you have summertime trying to arrive. So again, March is going to be a roller coaster. I don't think anything's set in stone right now. Mari mentioned about, signs of spring. Flowers blooming a little bit in our gardens here, but definitely some colder temperatures on the way. We are forecasted to have snow in this part of the country this weekend, but really it's interesting to see the pattern flip, because in the beginning half of the winter it was all east and northeast, and now it's all northwest. So Mari, did you have anything to add as far as what you've noticed this week? I know you've been really busy building the website.
I've been fighting computer problems. So research and my video editing and everything's sort of been on hiatus right now. So unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot to add.
Mari does the grunt work for us here. Mari does most of the producing and the editing of the videos. I make about 30% of the videos. Mari does about 70%, and I'm sure you folks
You're working on a higher percentage now that I'm down right now. So
well, again,
you're doing pretty good for yourself.
You
Jake.
folks can notice the difference when Mari puts together a video. It's outstanding. She has a little bit more high-powered editing software than I do.
Being humble.
But even if I did have the same exact editing software she did, I couldn't even come close to what she does. So anyway, guys, I think that's going to do it for tonight. We're making another short one. I'd like to get some online guests too for some live shows. It's been a while. I'd like to take some questions from our audience. Maybe we can plan a live hangout this weekend throughout the week. Maybe you guys, if you want, go ahead and email us some questions at jake@thegrandsolarminimum.com and send as many as you can this week. And Friday night, maybe we'll get a chance to do some Q&A and answer some questions from some of you out there in the audience. Maybe some of you are new to the topic. Maybe some of you are longtime veterans to the topic. Either way, let's get some kind of a discussion going for Friday night if possible. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk soon. Taking a look at AR 2700, newly formed yesterday. It was Sunspot 11 yesterday. It's grown just a little bit to 16 as well today. But we do have 27 days without sunspots in 2018. This sunspot here just broke a 9-day streak of 0 sunspots. And looking at that, are predicted for the 26th and the 27th. Obviously, we have quieted back down. We are not in storm levels at this moment. And looking at the sun on the SDO for any kind of coronal hole action, there are several small coronal holes that are earth facing, so we will keep our eyes on that to see if there's aurora. You can see the light minor pink that's showing up within the greens and the whites. Again, the pink represents nitrogen in our atmosphere. Our KP indices today were sitting at a 1. And the max was at a 5, so we were just getting out of that solar wind stream that was the density of about 7. And yesterday it formed, but today they're officially announcing it. Sunspot number, actually, this is not...
still not updating. I'll have to fix that.
Yeah, we'll have to fix. That's all right. We'll go here real quick, folks. Bear with us. And right now we're... Welcome back to the Grand Solar Minimum channel. Today is Tuesday, February 27th, 2018. Doing a live update real fast here, folks. Taking a look at our solar conditions. Looking at solar wind speeds right about 508 kilometers per second.